The United Kingdom and European Union have agreed on a Brexit trade deal just days before the deadline. The deal comes nearly 4 years after Britain initially voted to leave the bloc. Both the EU and UK have been in contentious talks since March to determine how to proceed with trade within the continent. Come January, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson spoke at a press conference Thursday, shortly after the deal was struck.
I'm very pleased to tell you this afternoon that we have completed the biggest trade deal yet, worth £660 billion a year, a comprehensive Canada-style free trade deal between the UK and the EU, a deal that will protect jobs across this country, a deal that will allow goods, UK goods and components to be sold without tariffs and without quotas in the EU market, a deal which will, if anything, allow our companies and our exporters to do even more business with our European friends. I think this deal means a new stability and a new certainty in what has sometimes been a fractious and difficult relationship. We will be your friend, your ally, your supporter, and indeed, never let it be forgotten, your number one market. Because although we have left the EU, this country will remain culturally, emotionally, historically, strategically, geologically attached to Europe.
All right, for more on this, let's bring in CBS News foreign correspondent Roxana Saberi. Roxana, this has been a long time coming. Give us the brass tacks here. What does this deal between the UK and the EU entail?
Tom, the details are still coming out, but what we know is that the two sides, the EU and the UK, are supposed to be able to keep trading goods without tariffs starting on January 1st. Now, that's important because though the UK formally left the EU last January, it has been allowed to trade as usual with the EU, but only until the end of this year. Without an agreement by the end of this year, there could have been tariffs on goods crossing borders and a lot of chaos in general. Today's deal runs around 2,000 pages. It also covers nuclear cooperation, energy, and aviation, but it leaves a lot to be worked out later, like cooperation on security and financial services. Also, the UK and EU parliaments still have to approve it. Tom?
Yeah, there's a lot wrapped up in this agreement. So what changes will this bring for the UK as a whole?
We plan to see big changes. People and goods will no longer be able to move freely between the UK and the EU. Brits will no longer automatically be allowed to work or retire in EU nations, and EU nationals will no longer be able to live and work in Britain without visas if they're not here already. Exporters and importers will face customs declarations and goods checks, and that could cause delays at ports.
Obviously, at the center of all of this are the people of the UK. How are people in Britain responding to this news?
Well, we've seen a variety of responses. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson is painting the agreement as a big success. He's calling it the biggest trade deal yet, and he says the UK has taken back control of its money, borders, and laws from the EU, as you heard earlier. But critics here say Johnson really pushed this deal down to the wire. They point out there's now only 1 week to go through this lengthy trade agreement. And if the UK Parliament does not sign off, the country could crash out of the EU with no trade deal. Then the World Trade Organization rules would take over with new customs duties, barriers, and quotas. And a lot of Brits, Tom, don't want to leave the EU. They never wanted to, and they feel like they're being forced to. However, there is some hope that this agreement will bring at least a little bit more certainty.
Yeah, we can all hope for that. Roxana Saberi, thank you.
You bet.
All right.